nor no person shall sound the horn on a vehicle at any place where cold drinks or sandwiches are served after 9 p.m. I think we should go to Arkansas and start honking at sandwich shops and see if we get arrested.
I'll say this about Subaru people, they vape.
That's a behavior, but that's not really a trait.
Some people can turn it into a personality.
Absolutely. Yeah, it could be more.
You
you
watched
have
a
a blind
documentary
watch?
about toasters.
Did you watch
I
the
didn't
Technology
watch it.
Connections video, the documentary
He
about
watched a
toasters?
documentary about toasters. That's
Toasters are getting worse. They're getting worse. They used to have like thermo sensors in them that would mechanically shut off when your bread was at the right temperature, and then they went to BS Electronics.
So your main gripe is like with kitchen appliances.
They just suck. Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Car-ish. I'm the car.
I'm also.
I'm
yeah,
car.
right?
Yeah.
I'm Ish, baby. I'm the representative Ish.
So today we have an action-packed podcast. We're talking about several things, not just one thing, but two or three, including what does your car say about you? We've got another round of trivia. We got to grind my gears, but my favorite part of the podcast is the beginning because I have an amazing piece of knowledge I'm about to impart on you. You know when you're driving through Little Rock, Arkansas?
Sure, as you do.
As one does.
It happens a lot. This is an actual law that I dug up from the internet, so it has to be true. And I actually dug it up from the Little Rock, Arkansas list of regulations. It was very dry.
This is from their actual
It
state.
is the .gov page.
Oh man.
Section 18-54, no person shall sound the horn on a vehicle at any place where cold drinks or sandwiches are served after 9 p.m.
Where do you think that comes from?
What do you think that comes from? That is an incredible official ruling from the Little Rock.
So if I'm sitting at a Subway at 9:15 and I honk my horn, immediate jail. Like jail. Like they don't waste any
Straight
time.
to jail.
Yeah,
I
straight to jail
believe so.
right away. Have you seen that?
Also jail.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a Parks and Rec episode.
I would argue Subway, not really a sandwich.
Well, that's a different take
True.
altogether.
It's the bottom rung.
That's gruel.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's still a
yeah.
cool. What did it say? Cool sandwich?
Gruel.
No. The law.
Oh,
A cool sandwich.
cold drinks.
Cold drinks.
I was
Cool.
So coffee
Hot
shop is
sandwiches,
totally
fine.
on
It's
the
a Reuben.
table.
You're in the clear.
But I think we should go to Arkansas and start honking at sandwich shops and see if we get arrested.
See how long it takes. I wonder if they even know they have that law.
I bet they do. What else do they got going on in
They
Arkansas?
may not be aware.
All right, now that we pissed off everybody in Arkansas,
We love you, Arkansas.
Mary.
Is that in Little Rock?
Little Rock.
Did I say that wrong?
You said Little Rock.
Little Rock.
You pronounce it
Totally
very well.
enunciate
Someone
that
who's
T.
clearly never been to Arkansas.
Little Rock.
So, Mary, why don't you dive us into our first piece?
Yes. Introducing the first piece. Diving in. The thing that we're talking about today is what does your car say about you, right? And we're basing it on brands or like manufacturers. So like, what kind of person are you if you drive a Toyota or Mercedes or Hyundai,
Like Sunday.
or whatever. You guys know. You guys
We know
the cars.
cars.
Mary's just struggling. She's reaching the bottom of the barrel of the car brand. She knows.
I almost said
Hyundai.
Arcades. I know that that's not a brand, but it sounds like it would be the Arcades brand. So I'm going to start with Toyota because, as I've mentioned on all of our podcasts so far, I drive a RAV4, and I love my RAV4. Her name's Bobby. She's got a lot of hail damage on her. She's beautiful. What I think about when I see somebody driving a Toyota, I'm like, that person's responsible. They're reliable. They're on time. They're punctual, and they also know how to have a good time. you know?
Okay, that
They're
last
like-
part.
And they
How
don't
to
own any
have a good
tools.
time.
They don't own any tools.
Explain that. Why? Why is that?
Well, because I think that's one of the reasons that people buy Toyotas is so they never have to work on them.
Why
Is that because
that?
they're reliable, maybe, Case?
Yeah.
Oh,
Why is
wow.
that a
Case
bad
said
thing?
something nice.
Well, I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I'm just stating the fact.
Yeah, but you said it with like a
Any
like a
tools.
tone that was like, it seems like they don't have any tools.
Hey.
So that
It's a lifestyle for some maybe more well-adjusted people.
the subtext.
You know,
My problem with your argument, which was very well laid out, thank you, snaps. However,
hurt my feelings.
you said likes to have a good time. The problem is when I think of like a reliable, trustworthy person, I think of like a college professor. And that is not someone that likes to have a good time.
Yeah.
That's not true. They're not mutually like exclusive from one another. It's not like if you're responsible, that means you don't like to have fun.
But what kind of good time are we talking about? Are we like lighting a library on fire Or are we going to like a
Jeez.
Benson boot afterwards?
Tommy,
What an example to.
in what world is it a good time to set a library on fire?
Well, listen, that was a bad example. I was just thinking of something that was irresponsible. And that felt like an irresponsible thing to do.
I feel like a Toyota party is like, let's all get together and get our taxes in order.
Yes, exactly.
Oh my god. No, that is not at all what I meant.
So what is a good time for a Toyota person?
Like a picnic on the beach,
Oh, yes, that's great.
right? That sounds like a good time.
Do a lot of Toyota drivers do picnics on the beach?
When was the
Yeah.
last
Is
time
that-
you picnicked your Toyota on the
is
beach?
the
I
last time?
am in a landlocked state. I have not been to the beach in 10 years, but I would if I had one.
You know what's a good time? Skydiving. Toyota owners don't go skydiving. Also, I don't go skydiving. Cole, the producer, does go skydiving and owns a Toyota.
Behind the camera. Let's flip the camera around to
Yeah,
Cole.
everybody, let's finally
Let's
meet
show him.
Cole.
Can we get a fifth person around this table?
Yeah, seriously.
Or comically
Is this
small table?
cramped enough for you?
Okay, so I think you're pretty much on the money. But your good time is like it's not an adventure-y good time.
Yes, it is.
A picnic on the beach.
Okay, fine. Let me give you another example. A hike in the woods.
That's a
Yeah.
Jeep owner though.
No, I
No,
think
I
that
think
they can.
that's
I
a
think
big
there's,
Toyota
there's
thing,
crossover.
too.
I think
There's a lot
Yeah.
of Toyotas there.
like a crossover.
Huh?
I think like a good time. I think they're outdoorsy people and they're reliable and they eat like kind bars and they probably make their own granola.
So what's a Subaru person?
Ooh.
Because there seems to be a lot of crossover with that.
I think it's very
Yeah.
similar actually.
Mm.
What do you think a Subaru person is?
I don't want Case to answer this. It's going to be horrible. We're going to have to cut it.
I'm not gonna say anything that controversial. Look, we don't. We're not Subaru people. We find
We got muscles and we eat steak.
find the cars. A little slow. A lot of the time, a little uninteresting.
A little boring.
Yeah.
I don't think Subaru people are boring. Some of
Well,
the most unhinged people I've ever
people-
known own Subarus.
Yeah, but correction. They've usually inherited Subarus.
It's true. Not a lot of new
It's
Subaru
second
owners.
generation unhingedness.
I'll say this about Subaru people: they vape.
They vape.
They
yes.
Or they
absolutely
smoke
vape.
weed.
Yeah.
But not like a normal vape, like the big
clouds.
box
like they
mod,
got a
like-
rig, you
The
know.
box mod.
So that's
Yeah.
not really
Yeah.
explaining what that's a behavior, but that's not really a trait.
Some people can turn it into a personality.
Absolutely. Yeah. It could be more.
Yeah.
So
All
Jen,
right, fine.
you're a BMW owner.
I am.
What does your BMW say about you?
Well, probably not a lot of great things. I will say that. I, for the record, do use my turn signals. I know a lot of people will be like, "Oh,
pretty good.
BMW doesn't even come with turn signals," but those are just bad drivers.
Are they hard to find or?
No, they're right there next to the steering wheel.
Okay.
But I see a lot of other people not using their blinkers all the time. But in any case, I think a BMW driver is probably kind of high maintenance.
Mm-hmm.
And I think they want to have the perception that they like to have a good time. But maybe they're kind of boring.
All these different drivers like to party, it sounds like.
Yeah.
No. She didn't say that they like to party. She said they like to be perceived that they're a good
Right.
time.
Okay.
But I think they're actually a little more reserved and laid back. But I think they're also, it is the ultimate driving machine, right? So I think they do like to.
What is that?
The ultimate
That's
driving.
the
their
BMW
slogan.
slogan.
Oh,
Yeah,
my.
I'm not making that up.
I thought you were just like really putting in the love for the BMW.
No, there were quotes around that one.
Oh, okay. I didn't
But
know
You
that.
don't like that, huh? I like that.
Ultimate driving machine.
That's good.
It's a good slogan.
That's a good slogan.
Wow, I disagree.
It is
What's wrong with
from
that
all
slogan?
the BMWs you've driven. And
No, I disagree with the slogan.
Oh.
Well, that's a fair point. I don't know if I ever have driven a BMW.
What do you hate about the slogan?
I don't like how it's like very
pretentious.
It's very pretentious. It
It's-
feels high maintenance.
I feel
and
like
also
it's very-
machine.
It's very German. The ultimate driving machine.
Yeah, especially when
That
you
was
say
good.
it like that.
You
yeah.
said you didn't have any accents, and you do.
But that wasn't an accent.
It was
That
okay.
was just like
I think
A
Mary should do the
deliberate-
rest of the podcast in a Russian accent, which is just the best accent I've ever heard.
I'll do that one when Andre's here.
Okay,
Yeah.
that sounds
Yeah.
good.
When we have
Yeah.
authority.
Yeah.
So I actually think that BMW's brand is changing a little. I think it started out like kind of very enthusiast driven, and then it got a little pretentious.
Yes.
And now it's kind of changing a little bit.
To what?
Yeah, what do you think it is now?
So, Case, what do you drive? No, I think that, look, the cars are so expensive that driving any premium brand, if you're driving a new one, tells the world that, like, you are a successful person or you're comfortable with a lot of debt, right? And I think that's kind of the same for BMW and Mercedes and all the premium brands. But I think, like, now driving, like, Jen's era of BMW, you're a cool person.
Which is
Thanks, Tommy.
tell the people what you drive.
Well, it's a 2015, so she's 10 years old.
So she's 10 years old.
10 years old.
And that's like, typically that's someone that's an enthusiast, right? Because 10-year-old BMW, you're not trying to virtue signal the world you have a lot of money. You're telling the person like, I bought this car because I think it's cool and it's fast and has this inline turbo and all this cool stuff. So that's a cool choice.
Thank you, Tommy.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Now, Case has too many cars to list that he drives.
Well, and they all send very different signals, so it's confusing. I have a very large, very loud diesel pickup truck. I have, hey, let's not go there.
I didn't say that about you.
Thanks.
But it is what it
That
says
truck is
about
a part of
Case.
me, though.
It's not
But
though.
I've got that. I have my little Fiat 500 electric car. I have an old Mercedes that almost looks like a mafia boss kind of car.
Very villainy, yeah.
Yeah, a little bit villainy. And then I've got the Land Rover, which, you know.
All right, let's break that down.
There's a lot
Yeah,
there.
go into the Land Rover
Yeah.
more. What
The
does
Land
that say
Rover.
about you, Case?
Well, okay. So, Tommy, I don't know what it says about me. It
likes to
probably
party.
just says, yeah, I have a Land Rover and I too like to party.
On the side of the road.
I love it. I too like to party.
Yeah.
Are we going on a party, Ellen?
Yeah, there might be a little bit of that. It is a British car. It's very British. Like a Land Rover is about as British as it gets.
Yeah, but then you put an American engine in it.
It kind of always had an American engine in it, to be fair. As you know, you're not even going to disagree with that. Just a bad American engine, so I'm putting a good one in there.
It's telling it like it is.
Good for
You're
me.
not going to disagree with that.
You won't. You wouldn't dare.
It's not a
I
question.
have something with Land Rovers.
Yeah.
Land Rovers?
Yes.
Land Cruisers Toyota.
Yes.
Okay, that's always thrown me off.
By the way,
That's fair.
anyone that drives a Land Cruiser, someone's going to cancel me for this, but doesn't like to party.
I agree with
Land
that.
Cruisers are the least party mobile, maybe
Yeah.
other than an old Volvo station wagon.
Now, do you think there's a difference between the original, like older Land Cruisers versus the new one?
Yeah, the
because they are
new-
very
that's a good
different.
point.
Yeah, yeah.
They're very different.
The new Land Cruiser is someone likes who to party with their
Uncle?
chakras.
They're chakras.
What are those shoes with the holes in the feet?
Oh,
Crocs?
like
No, not
Sandals?
those.
Like the toe shoes?
No, not those. The
holes?
sandals with the straps that go over the feet.
Tevas.
Oh.
Tivas.
Tivas.
Or like
Oh, no,
Birkenstocks?
Birkenstocks.
Birkenstocks.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Close with chakras.
Or
We were.
Crocs.
It's like
Chacos.
Yeah.
Thank you, Cole. That's
Wow.
right. Chacos. A Land Cruiser buyer now, someone who likes to party, but they wear chacos.
Well, probably Birkenstocks because Birkenstocks are like Chacos but more expensive.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's
Okay, good.
a very bolder thing.
Guys, we've accomplished so much in such a small amount
Look
of
at
time.
all we've learned.
But Mary, what is your problem with Land Rover owners?
Oh no, I don't.
Oh,
have
it's
a-
not- yeah,
I don't
it's
have a
not
problem
a
with them.
big problem.
I think it's similar to Toyota, except for like Land
Yes.
Rovers. Okay, God, I'm gonna mess that up, and I'm gonna feel nervous about it this whole time. Land Rover owners are also very adventurous.
Yes.
and they don't wash their hands. Like a Toyota person.
Is that based specifically on me?
No, I just mean like they're like, I don't want to say dirtier people, but like they don't mind getting like down and dirty quite as much as like say like a Toyota person or a Jeep person.
I see
Like
what
I
you're
think
saying.
that they're a little bit more like rugged,
I-
of like an adventure.
I feel almost targeted because every time I'm here at the office, we're like strapping down something on a trailer. And the keyboard in front of my computer, all of the keys are like brown.
And remind
Yeah.
me what car you own?
A Land Rover.
Yes. So
I
there's my
also
point.
there's constantly dirt under my fingernails from that.
That's different though. That's just, I mean, obviously you're also the kind of person who just is like you're like a what's the word when somebody actually
Clown.
like
Whoa, dude.
Oh, when you're like a smith, you're like
A blacksmith.
like oh my god, trade school. You're like the
A
kind of guy
trade-
like,
a
tradesman. Tradesman.
A
Thank you.
jack of all trades.
A jack of all trades.
a
if you will.
smith.
So there's something to be said about you as the person that you are. But I
Right.
also just think like in my mind, like I think about like the Defender or the
Yeah.
what's
Yeah,
the one that
for
you
sure.
have?
The LR3.
The LR3 or
Yes.
like, you know, the Range Rover. Those just feel like kind of not janky, but they feel like they would be okay getting beat up, and the owner wouldn't care all that much.
And I think it's because of the people you hang out with that drive Land Rovers. But if you go to Beverly Hills,
Yeah, and the new
your
Land
perception
Rovers.
is going to be a
Well,
little
yeah,
different.
that's
Okay,
true. It's very
interesting.
different between a new Land Rover and an older one. But I think you would agree that kind of the classic image that was always portrayed came from Camel Trophy. So it was
Yes.
all the guys that have all the things that I don't have, which is like, hairy chest, and they're like tough and cool, and they drive these Land Rovers through the
Learned
jungle.
something about Case today.
Did you know what the
Yeah,
camel
not
trophy
very.
is, Mary? Do you know what the camel trophy is?
Is it like a big trophy that's a camel?
That's exactly what it is. Yes.
You nailed it.
No, so
What
there's a company that makes, I don't know if I can say it without demonetized, cigarettes. So I'll whisper it. Yes.
Would that get you
called
demonetized?
Camel. And they held this off-road adventure called the Camel Trophy where people would compete, and they would do like, I've talked to Case about this, and I'm sure he's fine with me saying it to the world. This is his definition of a man.
Yeah.
These are guys that are like fording
They were
through
so
the mud.
cool. If we look at some pictures, some of the coolest pictures of a vehicle off-road in the history of time is from Camel Trophy.
Like the bridge. Look at those. They had to build a bridge to get across that. And it's these guys that are just churning
Yeah.
through mud,
Look at that
shirts
one-
off.
Look at that one in the deep water. Yeah, these folks were legit.
That looks
That
like
is
the Range
pretty
Rover.
legit.
A little
Yeah.
more boxy though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it is a Land Rover, yeah. And women, there's some women involved in this.
Thank you for
Some.
that.
There are-
Thank you for that, Tommy. and women.
I appreciate that you didn't feel there was just awkward
inclusivity.
silence, so we could just let it ruminate a little.
Yeah.
It's pretty rough.
Look at that guy.
We were allowed. Did you know that?
But like a man with a low cut shirt, a good hat, and muscles.
That's a cool guy right there.
That's Case's kind of man right
Yeah,
there.
Cool.
that case is tight for sure.
That's super cool.
Case wants modern day Indiana Jones. That's what he wants.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
I think we all do, Tommy.
Exactly. Right? Yeah. That's not even controversial.
I think that's what the world needs.
So I drive
Also,
Oh,
Land
wow.
Rover.
also Land Rover, but that's kind of my wife's car now. So I exclusively own cars that do 0 to 60 in about a minute and a half.
Yeah, that checks out.
So I own 2 ancient Mercedes, and I think that well describes who I am because I don't party.
You really
No,
don't.
ma'am.
And you don't think old Mercedes party?
No.
Does any Mercedes?
Yeah, the new stuff
Like
the
Maybach?
AMG, my box.
Oh, definitely
Yeah,
party.
definitely
It
party.
bounces.
Yeah.
My car doesn't party. You can't party going 29 miles an hour. No partying.
Well, remember the thing we were talking about? You're cool if your car's really low.
Yes, I told Mary about the shoe test.
The
Oh,
shoe
where
test.
you put it in the wheel well?
So you take a shoe
Oh.
and you jam it between the tire and the wheel well, and if it fits, it's not
Is
cool.
it the shoe
Yeah.
you're wearing, or do you just have a shoe on hand?
If you're cool, it's also a pretty low shoe.
Now I like to do it with stilettos, so I feel a little cool.
Do it like ballet flats to like make sure.
That's the one. That's exactly right. But that's a real thing. You like jam your shoe in. It doesn't work so well, as Mary pointed out, with the off-roaders, but with the on-roaders,
As
that's
like
the idea.
Off-roaders are immediately eliminated as cool.
And then we also have that Fiat, which is kind of thrifty and
Yeah. Well, and you're also becoming very much a Model T guy. I don't know
That's
what that,
true.
I don't know what that says about you. I don't think there's enough of you out there driving Model Ts to really form a modern interpretation.
That would be a club. You'd
There-
be
yeah.
an enthusiast.
There is a club.
You'd be a
I
history
think Tommy might be
enthusiast.
the youngest one in that
I
club.
might be the youngest one in that club. No,
On the
that's
outside.
It's the Model T Club of America, largest Model T club in the world.
Case made a good point though. On the outside, you might be the youngest. But
Right.
On the inside.
On the inside,
You're
I'm
right there
on-
with them.
Just
Yeah,
right
you're on
par.
their level
Lovely
for
old
sure.
man.
Darn straight.
Yeah.
But I think it's important now that we've had our fun to note that like driving a car doesn't. We're having some fun with this, but you can be whatever person you want to be and whoever you want to be. I want to make that very clear.
Of course.
Unless you drive a Tesla.
Oh boy. What does driving a Tesla say about you?
Oh my God.
So Jen has a lot of experience with
a
dealing with Tesla owners.
lot of experience, and I hate to say it, but y'all didn't make it very easy on me. So it wasn't very good experiences.
So here's your reckoning.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of entitlement. You know, don't you know who I am? I drive a Model 3. It's like, wow. I don't know.
I drive a
there-
Model T, so that's way better.
No, there are some good people out there. You know, like I said, this isn't just like a blanket statement, but a lot of y'all are just terrible people.
Oh my God, Jen.
No filter.
Oh my God.
A lot of them are, well, I don't.
They're
Terrible
just,
people.
They're just terrible.
So, like, genuinely, because you worked with so many Tesla folks over the years, did you see like trends across Tesla owners? Not saying it's
Like from one model to another?
no. Like, did you actually find that like these people were oftentimes entitled or oftentimes like, pretentious or whatever?
The weirdest thing is I found more of a difference when I started at Tesla in the North Shore of Chicago versus Tesla out here, because
In Boulder.
the North Shore was more old money, like you don't exist, just do whatever, but rude still, but you just don't exist because you're in service.
As long as they're still
Here exactly. Here in like Littleton and Superior, they were more new money, and they need you to know who they are.
Oh.
And they are upset if they have to pay for anything, and that includes like you ran over a huge pothole and messed up your suspension. That's not covered under warranty, and people just don't get it. It's just so it was more of a location based, both rude for sure, but just more different
brands
of
rude.
The second version feels like more personal. Like that they'd like say, well, you're the worst tech advisor I've ever had in my life.
Oh yeah.
Whereas like an old money person would just be like, I'm
again,
Yeah.
you just didn't exist to them. You were just
for the old money people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's go to the opposite, folks. What do we think is what type of people are driving the coolest car? Like, what brand is the coolest people? Horrible way I said that.
Oh.
You
There's like a
mean
brand.
like what brand tells you like, okay, that's a person?
Like, I want to be friends with that
Yeah,
person.
Sure.
What do you think about Alphas?
Yeah, so Alphas,
Yeah.
Alfa Romeo,
Cool. Very Italian.
Italian brand, very style focused, very whimsical.
They're not super popular.
Yeah.
So every time I see one, I'm like, oh, well,
But I
Alpha.
wouldn't want to marry that person
Okay.
because I know that they would leave with Mr. Ferrari 5 years into that marriage,
It's an interesting take.
You don't feel like you could hold an Alfa Romeo down?
The best kind of people I've met, Acura drivers.
Really?
Acura.
That is interesting.
Dependable?
Dependable, but not boring.
Not too like, I'm better than you.
Yes, because it's not like a super high-end brand. When you get to like the Ferraris of the world and the Rolls Royce, no.
Awful.
Not it.
They're like responsible financial advisors.
What? Yes, that's
Acura,
right.
Acura people, not
exactly.
Ferrari.
They're not. They want something nice, but
doesn't
they're not
wanna be
dropping
friends with
all
that?
the
Right.
money.
Well, but Case, they also have like an NSX maybe, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, I do like the NSX.
Yeah, so they have some like cool stuff.
Yeah.
Yep. NSX is awesome.
And the most quirky eccentric drivers I've ever met in the world, Mini drivers.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah. I can see that.
Many people are cool.
I do this
They're
thing.
neat people.
I've done it a bunch called Mini Takes a State, which is like 2,000 Mini enthusiasts. You will never meet more interesting people in your life than Mini drivers.
I've heard this.
Yes, they are the
believe
most
that.
like welcoming for LGBTQ, which is very cool. They are the most eccentric with how they dress.
And they like to party.
They like to party.
They like to, but like
They
fun,
actually
like
are.
responsible, not like
not
destroying
burn the
property.
library.
Yeah, not destroying property kind of party.
Why did I lead with lighting the library on fire?
I don't know what you have against
How old
libraries.
is this video, Tommy?
This was oh boy, I was 12 years old when I filmed this.
You filmed this?
Yes, this
Were,
was
were you actually? Because you were doing
I was
this job
12
when you
years
were
old.
12 years
Tommy.
old.
2009.
Oh,
Mini
is
Takes
that
a
at the
State.
28th Street Mall?
Did you get these shots?
Yeah, this is me. Look at that videography.
Wow, dude.
Look at that.
Yeah,
Oh,
pretty cool.
Thomas.
Okay, I have a
Tomas.
thing.
Okay.
I'm going to describe a person, and you tell me what car that person is.
Yes.
Yeah,
I like
yeah,
this.
I
I
got
like
it.
this a lot.
Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay, this person is dependable. They're energetic. They're kind of quirky. They probably have big eyebrows. They
Is there a correct answer to this?
they're really zippy. They're fast.
Okay.
They like to sprint, and they're well. I don't want to give too much away, so that's what I'll tell
Dependable and fast.
With big eyebrows.
you.
With
Quirky.
big eyes.
There's a correct answer to
quirky.
this.
In my brain,
Is it something we've discussed already?
Yes.
Oh.
Oh.
yeah, it's already on the table.
I think it's a Honda driver.
Okay.
Well, we haven't discussed that, so you're already.
So you're already wrong.
Tommy's out. That was
doesn't
his one
listen.
guess.
Zippy.
I don't have any, though. Is it a RAV4?
No.
I can't imagine it's an Acura, but I'm trying to think of what's dependable and zippy.
Not Land Rovers.
I actually don't know if they're dependable. I'm gonna be sorry.
They're neither
Is it
dependable.
is
nor
it BMW?
No, it's a Fiat.
Hey!
Oh, okay.
I see.
Dependable is not the.
They can.
Immediately, I saw the eyebrows.
Thank you.
Yeah, I could see the eyebrows.
The eyebrows are right on point. That is exactly right.
Okay,
Yes.
Tommy, you do one.
Okay.
Describe a person.
Um,
Here's what I'm imagining. Imagine like a car comes to life and is now
Like cars.
okay. Okay. All right. I
Like
got a good
cars,
one.
yeah.
All right.
okay. Describe the person.
I walk around in racing shoes. Okay.
I already know it.
think
With
so, I think
this
so.
brand on the shoe.
Ferrari.
Yes.
Yep.
Come on, Tommy. You gotta be a
already
little bit
know
more
it.
cryptic than that.
Like a suede, like a Puma driving shoe kind of thing. You think?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. I'll do another one.
Okay.
I fly around the world and solve espionage crimes.
Aston Martin.
Yes.
Nice.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah.
Okay, how
That's
about this
good.
one? I'm mid-60s with crazy white hair and a lab coat.
DeLorean.
That's right.
No,
This is easy, Mary. What
Okay, I have one.
You're just describing movie cars.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I'm like, wait a minute.
It's an orange vehicle.
I
It
hunt
jumps-
ghosts.
Ghostbusters. I enjoy golfing. I
Lexus.
have at
It
least
is Lexus though.
11 grandchildren.
Still Lexus.
It is.
Still
it's a
Um,
Lexus
With
TX.
how many different women? Oh, grandchildren. Sorry.
I guess that could be
Could still work.
Could
Still,
still
yeah.
work. I have a house in upstate New York.
It's a Lexus TX.
I am huge.
Physically?
Yes.
How is this not a Lexus?
It's not a Lexus.
Do you like to party?
If it's posh enough, yes.
Oh, this is like a Bentley owner or a Rolls Royce
You
owner?
guys are so close.
Porsche?
It's a little too fancy.
Mercedes.
It's closer. I'm older
Escalade.
than
You're a
time.
Cadillac.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Did Cole get
Older
it?
than time.
Oh my god, that's
Oh
terrible.
wow, Cole
That was
got it
good.
from behind
Cole
the
got
camera.
it from behind
was
the
good.
camera.
Although I will say,
Cole goes Escalade.
I was just on this Cadillac program, and Cadillac's kind of cool now.
Yeah, I
Yeah?
agree. The
You know what
Cadillac
car
you're
has
in,
made Cadillac cool?
the IQ.
Cole.
No.
It's over there.
He said it. Escalade.
The
Oh,
Escalade.
yeah.
I thought
Escalade.
the Escalade has always been kind of cool.
It has been, but before the Escalade, it was not a cool brand.
Interesting.
They
Like
had,
a
they had
Cimarron.
some, they had some rough
Yeah.
years.
So in the 60s, they were very cool. And me in front of an Escalade is not going to look cool. Oh, Jesus. You got to find any other person.
No, it is cool. It is a
But
cool
so
car.
yeah, so like 60s and 50s, Cadillac cool. 70s, a little, but still pretty cool. 80s,
What was that last part?
That was everybody in the 70s.
80s, things started going downhill. 90s, very
Yeah,
uncool.
it got rough.
Very bad.
Sure.
Also, as we transition out of this was a fun topic, but Mary came up to me the other day and said something interesting. She said, I saw a car called a Mountaineer,
I did.
and she wanted to know what a Mountaineer was. And it is
Mercury?
it's a Mercury.
Yeah.
And we were trying to describe to Mary what Mercury was as a brand.
Oh, right.
How would you describe Mercury as a brand?
Like a worse Lincoln.
Yeah.
Or slightly better Ford.
Right. It's right in between Lincoln and Ford.
But is it a Ford or is it a Lincoln?
I mean, underneath it's just
It's
a,
both.
Isn't it a,
Right.
What, is it
So
a
Lincoln
Edge?
is a fancy
Or
Ford.
no?
Okay,
Escape?
thank you.
You're welcome.
You're the only one who gets me.
What did you say?
Shows what
A
I'm.
Lincoln is a fancy Ford.
In my head,
Yeah.
Lincoln was like a different thing altogether. Like Ford and Lincoln are like distant cousins who don't really like each other and are always competing for Uncle John's approval. And Ford wins it.
So this is actually an interesting. You, Mary, I think would be really interested in this because you care about cars and kind of how they fit in like the social dynamic of the world. And especially in the 50s and 60s and 70s, you had the big three automakers and they had 4 or 5 brands. And the brand you drove told your neighbors what your social standing was. So you had like the Ford neighborhoods, you had the Mercury neighborhoods, and you had the Lincoln neighborhoods. And if your neighbor bought a Lincoln, they're doing really well. If they bought a Ford, they're probably not doing so well.
Oh, so Lincoln won the approval of Uncle John.
Lincoln competes with Cadillac. They're on the same level.
Yeah. Lincoln.
So that's like
fancy
up
Ford.
here. And the worst offender to this was GM. So GM would have Chevrolet, and then they would have Oldsmobile, and then they would have Pontiac,
Buick.
and then they would have Buick, and then they would have Cadillac.
GM confuses me. Cadillac's a part of GM.
GM, yeah. General
So
Motors.
GM is like ginormous.
It's huge.
That's what GM stands for, probably.
Ginormous Motors. That's the one.
Ginormous.
Ginormous. But the weird thing is, you would have like one car in the 50s, right? They would have the car, and then they would put different front ends and chrome and tail fins on that car, and that would dictate your social status.
Wow.
Like how much
Yeah.
chrome you had was how successful you were in life.
And they kind of still do that. They've they've gotten a little better about it. But even if you go back 15 years, it's like, oh, look at that Chevy Tahoe with a GMC badge on it. That's literally exactly the same thing.
Same car,
Yeah,
it
it's
just
like
has
the
a different
same.
badge.
Absolutely.
And it was a little bit more expensive.
Do people
Crazy.
fall for that?
Yeah, every year.
That's
They
all I
a
had last
new-
year.
So
Eat it up.
back in the 50s, they would have a new car every single year. And you were expected to buy a new car every year to keep up with the Joneses. That's where that comes from.
Jeez.
Crazy, huh?
Who are the Joneses?
Well, that's a good question.
Usually
You got to
your
keep
neighbor.
up.
Who are the Smiths? We'll never know.
So do you fall prey to that? Like, if you bought like the new version that had more chrome on it, would you be like, good choice?
Well, I mean, the thing is like if I want to buy like a car from the 50s, I do think like the Lincolns and
Yeah,
the
it was part of
Pontiacs
the
are
culture.
cooler than the Fords and the Chevys, and
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it was
Yeah.
just kind of part of the landscape.
Is it because they made less of those?
Partly,
Okay.
that's true, and usually they also just look cooler.
Yeah.
Like they kept the cool designs for the good brands.
Right.
The
And
more
then-
expensive ones.
Yeah,
More
which
flashy.
is dumb because it doesn't like designing a car. It's the same price to design a car, but the '57 Cadillac had tail fins this high,
Mm-hmm.
and the '57 5.5 Chevy had tail fins this high.
Hmm.
Pretty interesting.
That
huh?
is really interesting.
Mhm.
Extravagant.
Humans are weird.
Humans are weird.
Humans are so strange.
Mary, what's our next topic?
Yeah, okay. So, what are your must-haves in a car?
Mm.
Something you get into the car and you won't leave wherever you're leaving without these must-haves.
I need a steering wheel.
You gotta
really
have
good start. I'm talking more like accessories or items that you bring along.
Like how you
Accessories.
always have a karaoke microphone in your car.
So I have a karaoke microphone in my car, correct. I don't know where it came from. And
don't?
Not really. And I don't
How
I don't
could you,
think I'll
you
ever
know?
like take it out.
So Mary has a karaoke microphone and a beach ball in her car.
Correct. And a sleeping bag.
Do you have a book in your car?
Many.
Do you
like,
use those while you're
You
driving?
like to party.
I have the whole
You are a
Twilight
Land
series.
Rover
in my
owner
car.
right there. You have what in your car? A lightsaber?
The Twilight series.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
The whole series?
The whole series.
How many books is that?
I think 4.
You have
Nice.
all 4 in your car at all times.
Are they on a shelf?
Nope.
Do
I
you
need
have
to
a
clean
bookshelf
my
in your car?
I think Tommy makes fun of me so much because he just wants me to clean my car.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
That's
love
valid.
from
Tommy,
a-
I cleaned my RAV this weekend.
Did you?
I did.
She's not part
Did
of
you
that
get rid of the Twilight
16%.
series?
No.
Okay.
I cleaned the outside.
Oh, good.
Cool. What
Yeah.
color is it?
You're the meanest person alive. It's still blue.
Okay.
It was blue before.
So I'm sorry to rudely interact.
Interject.
Yep, that was the word.
Guys, if I mess something up, you can't just be quiet. Someone's got to say something. Interject. What's a must-have in your car?
Okay, so for me, I always have to have gum in my car. Like I have my personal car, and then I have the little Nissan Leaf.
Just
That
clarifying. GUM.
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 Not,
gum.
Okay.
Yeah, GUM, chicle in Spanish.
yeah.
It is
Oh,
like
I see. Yeah.
like it is the minty thing. Sometimes it's bubble gum. It can be fruit punch.
Okay, that's clarified. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah. It is Colorado.
It is Colorado.
So I like spearmint, and I also like polar ice. So that's always a must-have in every car that I drive.
That's crazy.
I have to have like a little like gum somewhere.
Do you put the gum in your mouth every time you drive? Terrible. way to say
It's
that.
pretty. Yeah, I mean, like it's kind of like a Pavlov dog situation. Like the car turns on, I'm like,
I
sounds like
Wow,
yeah, it tastes like I
really
a
need
piece of
some
gum.
gum.
Gum. So you have to have gum.
Yeah, that's one of mine.
Okay.
The other one is my water bottle because I sing a lot in my car, so my my mouth gets dry.
Hence the karaoke microphone.
Oh, yep.
Yeah, hence the karaoke microphone. And those are my only like must-haves. Like and my sunglasses.
Yeah.
Very
Okay.
sunny in
Sunglasses for
Colorado.
sure.
Very sunny in Colorado.
Jen, what about you? What are your must-haves?
I have one similarity to Mary. Otherwise, we are very different in how our cars are on the inside.
It's true.
I too need to have like gum or mints
Gum.
in my
Interesting.
But I also need to have. That's really all that's in my car on the interior. Maybe there's like some chapstick, but there's like nothing else on the inside of my car. But I do need to have my spare tire that I made and my first aid kit, and I have a blanket, and I have a little bottle of water in the trunk.
Now, when you
There's
say
like nothing else.
made, did you like carve or knit or?
No, it's not out of wood.
Okay.
But
Wooden tire, just in case.
I like spec'd out the Space Saver spare
That's
wheel
cool.
and the tire and built it.
That's
So,
really cool.
That is
Nice.
really, really cool.
How about you, Case?
Well, my standards are very low because I I spent a couple years dailying a motorcycle, and so when I bought my old truck, I was like, oh my god, I got a windshield and like
Luxury.
and I got
four doors.
I got a backrest. This is nice. I feel a little spoiled. I should try and stay relatable, you know. But over time, maybe things have developed a little bit. Sunglasses is one of them. I do
sure.
really poorly. You will never see me in a video outdoors without sunglasses on.
Yeah, this is facts.
Yeah.
I need sunglasses.
I do not walk out of my house without sunglasses, so that's a necessity anywhere.
Mm-hmm. And your eyes will thank you for it in the long run.
Yeah.
UV is no joke, people.
Yeah, especially like you said,
Direct to
Colorado.
camera. Mary turns to camera.
UV is no joke. Protect your eyes.
Outside of that, I mostly just want a lack of things. Because every time,
Oh, Mary's feeling targeted now.
yeah, every time I go into my girlfriend's car and drive it somewhere, I turn left and everything in the car moves right.
A tumble, just an avalanche.
You turn right, everything moves left. You can hear your braking and your acceleration. One of these days, one of the 11 cups and mugs and water bottles in her car is going to slide under that brake pedal. I'm very concerned for her health.
All we do
Wait,
is
they're like
I'm
under
also-
her feet, like her driving feet?
Well, so they're driving feet. she's got
like
like
passenger feet.
stuff in
You
the.
have one foot in the passenger well and one foot in the
Your driving foot and your passenger foot.
She's got stuff in the door cars. Every single cup holder in her car is full, and then some.
Wow.
And a lot of them are coffee mugs that have been there a while.
That
and
sounds gross.
They're
Who would
turning
ever do
into
that?
science experiments.
No.
We should really bully her out of it.
All right.
because it's gross.
No, I relate to her.
I'm coming to the rescue of Mary. Because I like to have nothing in my car, but inevitably there's just stuff. So like if I look at my Land Rover right now, I have a Sherlock Holmes
Of course.
in the door panel.
Like,
Individual.
Benedict
person?
Cumberbatch?
Benedict Cumberbatch is shoved into my door panel.
The book?
The book.
Oh.
Yeah, the original.
Pop quiz. Who wrote that book?
Mr. Holmes.
I actually don't know. Cole, can you look that up?
What the heck was that, Mary?
Right?
Pop quiz, you don't know the answer.
Cole has a bloody nose.
Oh, jeez. Moment of silence for Cole's bloody nose. All right.
Who wrote Sherlock Holmes?
Yeah. This feels like a
Arthur Conan Doyle. Oh,
Oh.
we could have got that.
Yeah.
You were
Oh,
close.
I was close with Mr. Holmes.
Sir.
That is a man who wrote Sherlock. Look
Wow.
at
Yeah,
that
that
man's
man
Good
makes
mustache.
sense.
mustache.
He
That
was
makes a
Sherlock
lot
Holmes.
So
of
I've got
sense.
Sherlock Holmes. I have a that's actually
doesn't sound
all
like
I
you have that
in the
much.
car. Think about it.
You think that's
So
coming
it's still
to my rescue?
relatively empty.
Sorry.
No
Sorry,
beach
Mary.
ball?
I do have tools in the glove box because it's a Land Rover.
Yeah, you gotta have
I've got the winch control in the trunk.
Yep.
And I do like to actually carry water. I think that's a big one.
Yeah.
But genuinely, a lot of the cars I drive always end up with like coats in the back. Like when Case and I are out on a shoot, Case's primary job is just to give me my sunglasses I left on the table. He's done this probably
really
900
glorifying
million
my
times.
position at this company.
Sorry, Case, you do more. You also give me the coats I leave at the table.
Yeah.
But no, for real, like I really struggle with that. So like oftentimes I'll just have random coats in the backseat of my car, which is kind of annoying.
I don't think that's out of the ordinary.
I also, you guys are all forgot the big one, music.
Oh, well, that's just
Well,
built in.
we
That's
don't
like
have
on your
CDs
phone.
anymore.
No, but
I
like,
mean,
do you need music in your car when you're driving?
oh, that's the first thing
Yeah, for sure.
Do you need music?
I can't drive without
I
music.
mean, the stereo doesn't work in the Mercedes, but I bring a Bluetooth speaker.
That's what I do. That's what I do in my RAV4 because the aux cord's broken.
Yeah,
Actually, I think the aux port is
We get
broken.
by.
So, yeah.
we get by.
Mary has a pet peeve though with music, where she hates when it's like very quiet.
Oh,
I hate
no.
And it's just
no,
like
no,
a
no,
whisper of music.
I'm with that too.
Oh my god.
That's how I feel when I'm going 32 miles an hour.
yeah. You like feel physically ill.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Like and it always happens like when I'm like this. This pet peeve was born when I was probably like 13, and I would like before you could drive, right? So you drive around with like your friends' parents, and it would be like something like an Escalade because some of my friends were very rich, and I'd be sitting in the back, and she'd have like Michael Bublé on level 4,
Oh,
like
how dare you?
like on the volume, and so I just hear like
No.
just barely in the back
No.
seat. And like maybe she can hear it fine, right? Because like maybe it's louder in the front. Like maybe she's put the volume closer to her.
Mm-hmm.
But nobody's talking. First of all, what's happening? Why is nobody talking? So that's even worse when it's like quiet and then you hear Michael Bublé softly in the background like a ghost. I hate that. Turn the music up or turn it off.
It's a terrifying scenario.
I'm going to make
Right?
a
Thank
prediction
you.
about you. You don't like LaCroix.
I hate LaCroix.
Because
Same.
it's just got a hint of lemon, right?
Yeah, it feels like
Yeah.
the phantom lemon.
It's
Like,
like
a
they
lemon
squeezed-
farted on some
Yeah.
bubbly water.
It's like they squeeze lemon in the next room over.
See, I
Yeah.
love LaCroix
That's weird.
because I don't like to party.
Tommy, I also don't really like to party. Do I strike you as somebody who loves to party?
No.
Yes, exactly.
But
So,
you can.
I can.
Of the four of us, who likes to party?
Jen. I think Jen.
Jen?
Oh,
Does
you think
Jen
so?
jump off cliffs with just a light kite holding you up in
And
the
then
air?
have
setting a
gone skydiving.
library on fire.
I have gone skydiving.
There you go.
Have?
Yeah.
I do not
I've
know
flown a
Jen very well.
plane.
This is terrible news.
Did you party growing up?
I plead the fifth.
Told you.
Jen likes to party.
Jen likes to party. I think Jen would throw a killer party.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mary.
I really think you
Thank you
would.
very much.
I would not.
You have thrown killer parties.
Morgan has thrown killer parties.
That's true. Your
Yes.
wife is
Tommy
good.
attended.
Did you see the invite I sent to that party?
Yeah, it was bad.
in New Times Roman. Times New Roman.
At least it wasn't Comic Sans.
No, it
It
wasn't.
was on it was a
Papyrus.
white sheet of paper. Papyrus.
It was a white sheet of paper and it said
Case-
Morgan's birthday party.
Do you party?
It is your
Not
birthday.
really.
No.
Case can though.
You can.
If it came down to it, I could manage.
Life and
You
death.
know, life and death. Yeah, I could make it happen.
If
Depends
it
on how
came
many
down to
Modelos
it.
are there.
Yeah, Modelo's, they're directly correlated. The
No
amount of partying.
Modelo will get me partying.
No?
No.
Did you have a Modelo in the Super Bowl? No.
No, I did not have a Modelo.
Can I make a case for why my car is the way it is?
Mary has never felt lower than she is now.
I didn't know. I mean, I guess I should have anticipated being ganged up on for this podcast, considering it's literally 3v1 in that position.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. So I have 3 sisters, and we all like move around. So like two of my sisters just moved to where I am, and then one of them is moving, like going to college soon, and I've moved houses a couple times. So there's always like stuff at my mom's house in Southern Colorado, and then there's always stuff that needs to be transported. So what happens is like my mom will be like, "Here, take this to Sarah," and I'll be like, "Okay," and then I'll bring it over to Sarah, and Sarah will be like, "I don't want that," and I'll be like, "Well, okay, but mom told me to give it to you." She's like, "Well, I don't care, I don't want it." And so then I'll have
Oh, that's a
random
good point.
stuff in the back of my car that
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm supposed to get rid of because I don't know if like I should. So then it just lays forgotten. and
So basically,
abandoned.
they've moved into your car.
Essentially, I have a
Yeah.
small family living in my car.
Yeah.
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 That's tough.
I think I
Yeah.
have a mouse living in my car right now.
Wait, actually,
Which one?
Yes, in the Land Rover.
Uh,
Oh no.
It's not in the car, it's in the engine.
the L39.
The L39, yes. There's a mouse living in the L39. Because Morgan parked it in the garage. She said she saw a mouse, and then she backed the car out of the garage, and the mouse ran out of the garage toward the car. I think I might have a mouse.
his
in there.
house was rolling away.
But I want to get rid of it. But she also said it was very cute.
Oh,
Mice
well,
are sneaky.
But they
Yeah.
also could do thousands of dollars
They
in damage.
sure
Micey
can.
are sneaky like that.
Yes.
Micey?
Micey are sneaky.
Yeah.
It's his name now.
Yeah.
So Mary's going to run us through trivia. But before we go to trivia, we have an exciting announcement.
oh boy.
What's our exciting
Jen,
announcement?
do you want to make the exciting? I just hyped it up. This is the fourth quarter.
okay. I see.
Oh my
I
god.
see.
Yes, we are now sponsored.
Wow,
Yes.
someone sponsored us.
Heck
We are
yeah,
now
dude.
sponsored by Scott O'Sullivan.
Yeah, so our buddy Scott,
Mm-hmm.
who is just the greatest guy, and he knows that 6 people listen to this podcast every week. And he was like, I gotta keep this insanity going. He's like, for the sake of civilization.
Sure.
So he did something awesome and actually sponsored our podcast. So Jen, you want to read about what Scott does?
Yeah, so he owns a law firm. And he's sponsoring us. If you've got any friends or family that have been in an accident anywhere in the U.S., call Scott first. He is at 866-956-2905.
That was a great read. You could be on NPR.
Also, Scott
you, sir.
specifically wants to sponsor car trivia.
Car
Is
trivia.
the next portion
Oh,
of
no.
this.
Here we go.
So-
Also, Scott is like have you met him?
No, I
Case
haven't.
and I know him
Oh,
pretty
yeah,
well.
yeah.
He's like a super cool dude.
Yeah, he's
He's like
super
just
nice
a
guy.
really nice
that's
guy.
nice.
Yeah.
And he's like a genuine car enthusiast. So like if you need legal help with your car stuff, like I know a lot of people in the car community that have needed help from him, and he's
Yeah.
like He's on it. He knows your problem.
Oh, he does motorcycles too.
Yeah,
he's,
right,
He's
adjustments.
sponsored
Yeah.
on Motorcycle
Super
Channel.
cool.
Yeah.
No, yeah. So thank you to O'Sullivan Law Firm and Scott O'Sullivan for sponsoring Carish.
And Scott, you're getting your money's worth because I think Mary has about 17 hours of trivia for us.
Scott, this is for you. I don't know where you are.
I was hoping after last time we were doing trivia for 3 hours, she shortened it down, but she did not.
No,
I actually
think she
added
added
extra.
more.
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
But I actually remembered all the answers this time. I bolded them.
Very nice.
So how we need to come up with a system because now there are 3 of us. If we
yes.
want to answer, do we
Buzzers.
snap?
No, I think, well, we haven't done that before. You can just, like, if you know the answer, be like, oh, I know this one.
Okay, that's good.
Right.
Civilized.
Yeah, but Case is here, and Case and I are
Are these?
competitive.
Yeah. Are these going to be questions that anyone knows the answer to?
I've tried to, like, hone them in instead of, like, who invented this?
Yeah,
It's
so-
less
okay,
that.
They're
cool,
really
cool.
hard
Very nice.
A lot of them are difficult.
and somewhat fact checked.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, because none of us are able to
There
see
is
the
a
answers.
slight disclaimer in that, like, it could be expired information,
Okay.
you know?
Yeah.
So, I don't
Well,
know. I did my
find
best.
out.
The fact that I'm finding these questions is...
Yeah, why do we make the ish find the questions?
Because I definitely wouldn't be able to answer them, but I could ask them. Okay, are we ready, Carish people?
We're
Not
Ready.
That was unclear.
That was a mix.
Okay, ready, guys?
Yes.
Okay, the 1901 Mercedes, designed by Willem Maybach for Daimler. Help me out, guys.
Tommy knows this one already.
Gesellschaft. Deserves credit for
Can you say
being
that louder, please, Mary?
Gesellschaft. What is it?
no,
Do you know what it is?
I don't know what that
Motor and Gesellschaft. I'll
Okay,
show
the
you guys.
1901 Mercedes.
Yes. Deserves credit for being the first modern motor car in all essentials. What horsepower did its 14-pound engine give out?
The engine weighed 14 pounds.
Indeed, sir.
That's impressive.
I think that the math is not math in there.
I'm going to say 2.
Oh, no. 2. This is a
'Cause-
Mercedes Benz. This isn't a Ford. I'm going to say 3.
Oh,
How much horsepower?
Yeah.
It's got to be more than 3, right?
No.
Like
Jen?
15.
All right. I forgot that I have to like keep score for you guys. Okay, so there's 3 of us now. Jen wins. It was 35.
35.
2 and 3.
Who needs that
Guys.
much power?
That's an absurd
Needs
amount
that
of power.
much power.
How much does our little Fiat have?
17?
And that's too much already.
Yeah, that's absurd. That's a dumb.
How did it-
35 horsepower?
14-pound engine.
How does that?
How many?
I'm suspicious of this engine.
It
that
is
weighs
on
14
Wikipedia,
pounds.
though, so it has to be real.
Okay, wait. See that right there? Daimler Motor and Gesellschaft. See that word?
Oh yeah.
Oh, that is a tough word.
How do you say that?
Daimler Motoren Gesellschaft.
That's
think.
my-
Gesellschaft.
Yeah,
Okay.
Very,
I can get
very
behind
good.
Gesellschaft.
German
Okay, so
That was
Jen,
great.
as usual, is in the lead right out the gate. Okay. Number 2. What was the top speed of that same Mercedes?
You can't read it.
Scouring the
Reads
Wikipedia page.
35 horse. I'm going to say that thing did 62 miles an hour.
No. No way, Tommy. No way. I'm gonna say 45.
I'm gonna say 50 miles an hour.
63, 45, and
50.
50.
Oh, my guess is gonna be so bad.
The correct Jen wins again. It was 53.
Oh my
53.
god.
Yeah.
Jen is a
Jen's an
well-known expert of the
animal.
1901
Okay,
Mercedes
well.
Gesellschaft.
Gesellschaft.
Jezelshaft.
Gesellschaft. There's that drawl.
Yeah.
Okay. In 1913, which country produced 485,000 of the world total motor vehicles?
1913?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'm going to say the UK.
That's,
It's got to be
19
Ford, right?
yeah, 4. That's got to be US.
What's Case's guess?
Also US.
Also U.S. Okay, so it was the United States.
Oh my god.
Do I give that? You said it first. Jen said
Yeah,
it
but
first.
Case said 4.
They should both get a point.
All right.
Oh, well, I don't need consolation points here.
Pity
Folks. What am
points.
I? What am I? Some kind of charity case already?
All right, ready?
Uh,
The 4-cylinder 20 horsepower Model T was first offered in October of 1908. How much did it sell for?
You must know this, right, Tommy? You are the
somewhere
Model T
somewhere in your
guy.
brain.
1908?
Yeah. What do you think?
$400?
Case?
I'm gonna say 200.
I think it was like 695.
All right.
Six?
Tommy's closest.
Highway
it was
robbery.
$825.
$800.
It depreciated pretty freaking fast,
Well,
though.
the problem is that he cut the
Oh.
price when like the assembly line started, and then
Right.
it got to like the $400.
Right,
Okay,
right. I was
okay.
gonna say it depreciated really, really fast.
Yeah.
It was like a few years.
It's a bad
before it was
investment. You lose
half that.
$400. Can you imagine losing $400 buying a car? Wow.
Whoops.
That would be
That
rough.
never happens anymore.
You just own a Mercedes at this point now.
All right. During World War II, in addition to turning out several million military vehicles, American automobile manufacturers made some 75 essential military items, most of them unrelated to the motor vehicle. What percentage of the war production came from automotive manufacturers?
Ooh, 39.
39,
I'm gonna say just a low 25.
25.
Yeah. I'll say 30.
Case is closest.
Wow.
It was 20%.
Pretty small.
Yeah, a fifth
Yeah.
of the nation's war
I thought
production.
it was more.
I won something.
Yeah, good job, Case.
I'm ahead of Tommy.
Well, you have a pity point. You're only ahead of me because of
I have
your
a pity
dumb
point
pity
and a real point, which is like 1.5, which is enough to put me ahead of you.
You average that out, yeah. Also, it cost about $29 billion.
Oh.
Only?
Only.
That's it.
All right. In 1980, which country became the world's leading auto producer, a position it continues to hold?
In the 80s?
Japan.
Just got, just
Yeah.
Japan.
Correct. It was
Yeah.
Japan.
Oh, we all get pity points.
Nice.
Nice,
Love.
nice.
All right. Jen's in the lead with 4. Case has 3. Tommy has 2.
God.
In British English, the trunk is referred to as the boot. What is the hood
Bonnet.
referred
The
to?
bonnet.
That was Jen
That's
all
a bonnet.
the way.
Yeah, it's a bonnet all day.
That was Jen all the
It's a
way.
bonnet all
now say
day.
it in a British accent.
A bonnet.
Oh, I liked that.
It's a bonnet.
Now say it in a French accent.
Oh, bonnet.
Bonnet.
Oh, man.
Hey.
Oh, wait, wait.
I liked you went, oh, bonnet.
Oh, bonnet.
Okay. All right. Charles Kettering revolutionized the industry with the electric starter. Up until his invention, all engines were started by what?
Crank.
Yeah,
Tommy's
hand crank.
got it. Hand
See that?
cranking.
Lightning fast.
Like, nobody else would have
he's
gotten
like,
that.
Like you and your Model T.
It's like a bolt of
Known for
electricity.
He
speed.
has a university, by the way.
Charles
Charles
Crank.
University. No, Kettering University.
Charles University.
Charles Crank.
Imagine if you could only name universities after your first name.
That'd be kind of cool unless you had a terrible first name.
Well, that
Yeah.
that would be hilarious.
That'd be me.
I would like to give an example, but I can't think of any famous people that have universities. Like
Zendaya.
Zendaya. Her
State.
first name is.
I don't actually know what her. I think that's her real name.
Yeah, I believe that.
Didn't her husband just die?
No,
What if
that
it's
was
just
Aubrey
like-
Plaza.
Yeah.
No, the One Direction guy.
Oh,
Oh.
Liam Payne.
And didn't he date Zendaya?
No,
He dated
a different
Shania.
a different hot woman.
a different hot woman.
What if it was just like Tom University?
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
Thomas.
Tommy University
Thomas.
works. Thank you,
Yeah.
Jen. She really reels us in. Okay. The first electric starter was installed when and into which manufactured car?
You got this. 1908 Cadillac. I'm going with
As
it.
if I've ever been in that vehicle.
yeah. Case only knows things that he's seen firsthand.
No clue.
Yeah.
Okay,
That's
so
true.
you're going to get that point for sure.
Only
It was the
evidence.
1912 Cadillac.
Oh, wow,
Shoot.
Tommy.
But that was
So
really
off.
good. That was really good.
Hmm.
Okay, in 1922, Chevrolet introduced a radio that can actually be installed in your car. What did it cost consumers?
What year?
1922.
Mario is only interested in trivia pre-industrial
Pre-40s.
revolution.
Yeah, yeah.
It's historical. That's what trivia is.
I'm gonna say $10.
No. It was way more.
$10 hairs.
Offended.
Absurd.
Look at Tommy goes,
I'm leaving. The 22 Chevrolet radio? Are you insane? Jen, what do you think it was?
I think it was like $100.
Oh,
make a guess, Tommy.
How badly do you want to listen to music?
$58.
Jen is closest. It was $200.
Whoa.
Why?
$200?
Did you say why?
It'd be much cheaper to sing.
You
Says
could
there
say that
were
about any car ever.
Well, most of them come with stereos at this point, Tommy.
Well, we're only talking about
Guys,
pre-1930s. Case.
the antenna covered the car's entire roof. The batteries to power it could hardly fit under the front seat, and it came with 2 enormous speakers that had to be located behind the seat.
That's why it's $200.
Wow.
Should just put a gramophone in that thing.
You're way cheaper.
Might as
That
well.
was ginormous. When was the 3-point seatbelt invented, and by whom?
Volvo.
Yes. Damn it.
65.
Case?
For the year, I'm gonna just bet the under, 62. I'll say.
No, I'm saying Volvo 54.
Okay, so I think 62 is the closest because it was 59.
Oh,
But I'm just going to give the point to Jen.
Well, yeah,
'cause
she
was
because she was on it.
she was quick.
Did you know the cool thing about that, though, is they invented the seatbelt patented it and then gave the patent away to everybody.
That's
good-
cool.
Which is
good
very
peeps.
cool.
That is cool.
They're good peeps.
Did I give someone a point last time? No. Yes. No.
It was Jen, but I think you gave it
Okay,
to her.
cool.
Yeah.
Okay. In 1964, Aston Martin, the 1964 Aston Martin, was driven by Sean Connery as
DB5.
007 in both the Goldfinger and Thunderball movies. How much did one of these Astons used in the making of those two movies sell for?
When new or now?
I think after.
Yeah,
after
I would
they-
assume at a
after they filmed.
auction.
Yeah.
Millions.
Yeah, it's got to be millions.
I'm gonna
Millions.
say 1.2.
Okay.
I'm gonna guess more than that. Because those are already pretty expensive. I'm gonna guess 5. 5.
5 mil?
I'm gonna guess 3.5.
All right. Case is closest. It was 4.5 million.
Nice
Ooh, okay.
case.
Yeah, it's a really good job.
Very
Case.
nice. I'm
Points on the
good at
board.
guessing how much old British cars and movies sell for. Put that on my resume.
All right. Tommy's got 4. Case has 4. Jen has 6.
Ooh, it's catching up.
All right. What kind of car did Clark Griswold drive in National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation?
Oh, it's a Ford.
was-
isn't it?
It was the family truckster.
It was the wagon. It was a
Yeah.
Ford. Was
Yep.
it a Taurus wagon?
No,
Oh no, what are they called?
no, but I thought it had like a funny name.
It's not an LTD, is it?
I thought it was a Taurus wagon.
Are you looking? Is it a real car or is it a fake
It's a real
car?
car.
Oh yeah, then it would be like an LTD wagon. Family Vacation was. I swear it had like a goofy name. It was a green one with the 4 headlights that they made for the movie.
Yeah, they like modified the car. I know
In the
what you're
movie,
talking
it had
about.
a different name, but I think it was an LTD based, or
Was it
maybe it was a
an
Country
LTD?
Squire. I'm gonna say Country Squire.
Country Squire.
I guess I'll stick with LTD.
Don't cheat. Wait, Colt. They don't know the answer yet.
I think it was the Taurus wagon.
Jen is 100% correct. It's a 1988 Ford Taurus
I
wagon.
knew it was the
Oh,
Taurus
really?
wagon.
Hold on, you said Family Vacation?
Not,
Yeah,
not
National
Christmas vacation.
Lampoon's.
Christmas Vacation was a different movie,
That's what I said. National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation.
but there was a National Lampoon's Vacation movie as well.
I said Christmas Vacation.
You said Family.
I read the words that are on the paper, and it
back
says
the
Christmas
tape.
Vacation.
I don't know about that. Yeah, that was definitely a Taurus wagon.
Yeah.
Oh,
Thank you,
really? But
Oh,
look up the actual Vacation. Yeah, it's that one.
Oh, I
That-
see.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a
yeah. What is that one?
not a Taurus wagon.
Isn't that a beauty?
That's a nice car.
Yeah.
Look, they got wood on the hood. Hoodwood.
That was the Family Vacation movie.
Yeah.
Okay, well Jen listened, so she gets that one.
Jen's a good listener. Okay. As per a federal mandate, every car sold in the U.S. since 2019 has been equipped with what?
Backup camera.
Yeah,
fast.
good
Case, good
case.
one.
Yeah.
Straight up.
What is the fastest an engine has ever been removed and replaced?
On purpose?
And replace
Or like,
the key case.
yeah, I guess replaced is
I'm gonna say
is
10
pretty
minutes.
good. 11.
You were the worst. The worst.
Say 20 minutes.
Thanks, Jen.
So we might have to check this, but it says 42 seconds.
What?
Yeah. It's because they do like those, like, did you ever see those with like Model Ts or World War II Gs where they have like those like people that go on stage and they pull the front end off, they pull the engine out, and then they put a new one in?
Yeah, I have
Less
to wonder
than a
if
minute.
I have to wonder
42
if they
seconds.
got it, out of the car and then back in running again. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I
Okay.
wonder.
I'm gonna call that a win because it was close.
Nobody
You
gets
were
that
the
point.
closest.
Are you kidding me? He guessed 11
You
minutes.
yeah, but you weren't close enough to elicit a point. I don't
42
think.
second engine change.
Oh, look
Here
at
you go.
this.
Look at that man's sweater. Oh, it was a
Tommy would
Escort.
have that sweater.
Okay. Case has taken like a year to put an engine in a Land Rover. These guys did it in 42 seconds. What is
Hey, the
wrong
engine's
with you,
in.
Case? All right, so they're in the car. This guy clapped. All right, now they hopped out. That's a lot of people
Oh, whoa.
getting out of that car.
Oh,
Whoa, they
Whoa.
just.
See how fast they
He
took
ripped
that
the hood off.
All right, we're now watching them pull the
So
engine
it's
out.
obviously already like unhooked and
yeah,
everything.
right. Well, they did drive up though.
I think they're just better at it than Case is.
Where'd they get that tool? That's a cool tool.
What, the screwdriver?
Just
The
a bar.
big long pole.
I think it's just a pull,
just
man.
a
Yeah, I
bar.
don't even
Yeah.
know
All right,
if
now
that
they're putting the
qualifies
engine
as a
back
tool.
in. They're tightening it up. They're hooking it all up. The guy's
right,
got the
though.
hood.
Oh, he's putting the hood back on.
These
even.
guys better move or they're going to get a hood
Nuh-uh.
Wow,
tie.
are they going to detail the car?
See that guy
before?
drag him by his feet from underneath the
So
car.
clearly, this is not a normal car
I don't. Oh my god.
because that's
it's
not
an
usually how you
Escort.
open the hood on a car.
Not if you're
Just
Case.
pull the
did.
hood
By the
off
way.
real quick.
Look, they drove away.
That okay? I'm amazed.
Okay, but Jen made a good point. That thing was already like disconnected when they opened.
It couldn't have been
Yeah,
that
right.
disconnected because they drove it in.
I mean, how about the fuel line? How about the cooling system? How about the electronics? Like,
magic.
I just think we learned Case is bad at engine swaps. These guys did it in 42 seconds. It's taken you a year.
Wow.
All right.
Okay, cool.
You're not really going to give me the point of that?
Do you want it?
No, it's fine.
Okay. Should I guys?
No, Tommy. Someone
doesn't
needs to give
deserve
a
it.
point. Someone deserves a point. And if
Me
Tommy was
for being-
closest,
Thank you,
All
man.
right,
if
I'm
Tommy
giving
was
Tommy the
closest,
point.
it should be me.
Okay. How many oil changes are performed every year?
on like one car.
By me,
or-
0? No.
Just in the world?
It didn't specify.
Just
Whatever was
In-
left.
in any-
whatever metric you want, Kate.
in any star system?
Yeah, in this galaxy, I think.
I'm gonna say,
Like worldwide.
I don't know. People be skipping on them oil changes, man.
so Kate's gonna say like 3.
And I do all 3 of them.
How many?
Oh. God, how many cars are there out there?
A lot.
I'm going to say, well, because,
Okay,
man,
Jen, how many oil changes are performed
I'm going
every
to
year?
say 70 million.
I'm gonna say 9 million.
I'm going to say 250 million.
Wow.
I'm going way
big
over.
spread.
Because
Big
I
spread.
don't know if we're
So
talking cars
Jen
or cars
is-
and motorcycles.
Like by and large, very close. It was 90 million.
Oh shit.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
I mean,
So
I got the 9 though, so
So you have point?
I got the 9.
okay. In 2019, not historic, by the way, pretty recent. What was the most common reason for an illuminated check engine light in 2019?
I'm gonna say catalytic converter.
oh, that's good.
that is a good one.
Yeah,
Man.
that's good.
Yeah.
That
good job.
that would be my guess too.
I'm going to say leaky gas cap.
All right, so Tommy gets that point for sure because it was problems with the catalytic converter.
Nice.
Nice.
Imagine if we hadn't got it, you'd have to guess which is closest to the actual problem.
It's just like-
It's like, is an O2 sensor to a catalytic converter than a misfire?
okay, how many cars a day does Ferrari produce?
Oh, this is a good one.
I'm going to say 25.
I'm gonna no.
I'm gonna say 10.
Let's say 27.
Okay, 25, 10,
Nice.
and 27. The correct answer is Jen. It's 14.
Wow,
Yeah.
Jen. Not many.
They don't make a lot. I know
Should
that.
probably get working harder in there.
On
Yeah.
the flip side, how many cars does Toyota produce
Oh,
a day?
God.
At least 25.
26 maybe. I'm
I'm
going to say 10,000.
A day?
yeah.
A day.
That's a good guess. I'll say 12,000.
I'll say 11,000.
you just pigeonholed yourself in the worst
It's
place.
11,000, isn't it?
It's 13,000. So
Oh
Jen is
my
close
God.
again.
That's ridiculous.
All right.
Ugh.
All right. Are we ready? In a measure of time, how long was the longest traffic jam in history? How long did it last?
Measure of
could be some-
time?
How do you even measure that?
Colnosis.
Like 12 hours.
This could be some dumb thing that
I'm gonna say
esoteric.
3.5 days, however many
I'm
hours.
gonna
that
say
is.
5 years. It's because it's gonna be like some
How
like
could it be-
conceptual
how could
thing,
it-
like
How could it be days?
Well, I don't even know how they're measuring it. Is like the congestion there the whole time, or is it for one
I
car
think
to get
it's
from
how
one
many
end to
how many
another?
cars were stuck.
oh,
For how long?
5 years. There's gonna be someone stuck for 5 years. They're
How
still
many- How
there.
did they survive?
Well, they got out of the car. Their car's still in traffic.
No,
though.
like active.
Oh, they're waiting. Oh,
I think
30 days.
30 days.
insane.
Yeah.
You said 3.5 days.
I've been in traffic for 10 hours.
12 hours.
Someone must have been
I'm
in
sure.
traffic.
Okay,
much
so
longer
Case is
than that.
closest. It was 12 days.
Oh,
Well,
wow.
12
Yeah.
days.
It was in 2010.
That's a long time to be
And
in
it was
traffic.
someone just trying to get home in LA.
It was in 2000. Honestly, it was in
A regular
2010.
day.
Thousands of vehicles were stuck in a gridlock that extended for over 60 miles in the Beijing-Tibet Expressway.
Cole did know
Oh, wow.
this.
Oh, wow.
Isn't that crazy?
Wow.
Yeah, it does look like LA. That's
Oh,
really bad.
That's
That looks-
That's a lot of cars.
Atrocious.
It looks like the opening scene of La La
I like the
Land.
guy that bought the green one. Look at that one green car.
Yeah,
Good
there-
for you, man.
There he is. There he
Good for you.
is. Okay. Wow. Who came up with the phrase "tune-up"?
The Italians.
Okay.
Get that joke?
It's
Okay.
the Italian tune-up. I get you. Those words aren't in Italian, so that kind of makes your answer bad.
Is this a
tuna.
person
Yeah.
or is this a country?
It's a person.
Oh.
It's a person.
The Italian.
It's an obvious person. I'll add.
Oh,
Like,
Henry
you-
Ford.
You know this.
Yeah,
person.
Henry Ford. Always breaking down.
I've never met him, so I don't know that person.
Is it Elon?
It's not Elon.
It is Henry Ford.
Nice.
Well done, Tommy.
Nice, Tommy.
But at what cost?
Yeah.
Okay, this is another one. This is a name. I said there weren't ones like this.
Lying liar.
Okay, who is it?
Who coined the term horsepower?
Mr. Horse.
Mr. Power.
Obviously, Mr. Power. Austin Powers.
Who was closest?
Technically, they were because his name has a W in it.
William Horse.
James Watt.
Oh, wow.
Well, Watt and Power are
He
pretty
didn't-
close.
That's what I said.
Yeah.
Did he also create watts?
No.
Ah, missed
No,
opportunity.
no.
Let down.
It was in the late 18th century. He was a Scottish engineer, and he created the term to compare the output of steam engines with the power of draft horses.
And he's been confusing people for decades since.
Yeah.
Decades.
Yeah.
All right, what you got, Mary? What's next?
Okay. In the 1972 film The Godfather, Sonny dies in a hail of machine gun fire outside his car. What car was it?
Been so long since I've seen them.
I've never seen that. I'm going to say it's a 1972 Thunderbird.
Never seen the Godfather.
I'm going to say it's a Cadillac.
Okay. Well, no. It was a 1941 Lincoln Continental.
Okay, no one gets that point.
No.
Yeah, nobody was even
Bad.
close.
Cadillac's closest to Lincoln.
Okay, they're
you know.
It's
direct
like a C.
competitors. No, okay.
So, okay, Jen and I have continuously been compared to Thelma and Louise. This pairing drives a famous blue convertible in the movie Thelma and Louise. What is the car?
1957 Thunderbird.
Yeah, that
It is a Thunderbird,
Is
isn't
it
it?
a Thunderbird?
But it's
Yeah.
a 66.
Oh, shoot.
I'm gonna give it to you anyway.
It's still, yeah.
You're falling behind. Just
Talk
kidding.
about pity
Cases in last place.
Yeah. Go for
Okay. About 40% of check engine light related problems are attributed to what?
Catalytic converters.
Okay.
There's no way she would have the same answer for multiple questions that
You don't know Mary.
would make this just terrible trivia.
You don't know Mary.
Is this terrible trivia?
I'm not gonna say anything.
I'm going to stick with bad seal on the gas cap.
Yeah, that's a good one. But I like what Tommy said earlier, the O2 sensor.
What is it, Mary?
It's a faulty oxygen sensor.
Oh, wow. There you go.
Yeah. Well done, Jen.
It's not terrible trivia.
It's not terrible trivia. Okay, this is question number 26.
Okay, the bonus.
It is
It's for all the marbles.
Worth 2 points.
She has like 20, we have 4, so we better really get this one.
To put things in perspective, Jen has 12 points, Case has 6, and Tommy has 8. So even if you get the
Cole's
bonus,
just laughing over there.
nobody will get it. So we don't have to do the bonus.
We
one.
need to.
Okay, well, it's Finish the Lyric about this
Finish
famous
the
car.
lyric.
Okay.
Oh, you pretty chitty bang bang.
Pretty
Chitty chitty
shitty.
bang bang. Dun dun dun.
I love you.
All I can think about is Ace Ventura 2.
Nope.
I love you.
We love you.
Oh,
I'm going to give him those.
wow. Pretty
Yeah.
Wow,
Okay,
I
Case
tied up
gets-
with Tommy.
I was trying to figure out what rhymed with chitty, and I was not going down a PG road.
No. Okay, so Jen is the very clear winner of that with
Wow.
12 points. Case and Tommy
As a winner.
tied
I got lucky.
for 8. Do you guys
But if
wanna
we
do a
combined
tiebreaker?
our-
Yeah, do a tiebreaker.
Points.
Come up with one on the spot.
Okay.
In what year?
I'm glad there's
I'll
still
come up
time
with
for
a-
me to lose this.
Okay, I'll come up with a trivia
You're not happy just being
for Mary.
tied?
No. In
What if we arm wrestle?
No, absolutely not.
That would be hilarious.
Okay. In
That'd be
what,
fun for the audio.
In what
Yeah,
year?
right. You
was-
could announce it.
Yeah, I could.
In what year was Mary's car made?
Oh, I know.
Is this a thing that you know
No,
already?
I don't know.
Really?
Really?
I know.
Really? How dare you not know what her year her car was
Everybody
made?
knows what year cars.
It
Wait. what?
Was
Cole and I have
2007.
I'm going to say 2006.
2007.
Oh, you beat me in trivia.
Nice.
Tommy, you knew that.
Is it a 2007 or 2006?
2007.
Model year or manufacture date?
All right, so Case wins that. So Tommy
That was a double down look right there.
All right.
So we have 5 minutes left, and it's time to talk about what grinds my gears.
Perfect.
Mary, what grinds my gears?
Other
God,
than
that
this-
was the worst.
Other than trivia.
Something that grinds my gears is. I wrote this down earlier.
She's sneakily. Well, it grinds my gears.
Oh, I remember. Okay. It's so this is a pretty specific thing. I love to read. And so something that really bothers me is when like one of my favorite book series that was adapted to a movie, when the book cover is the movie poster. I hate that.
Good one.
I hate it so much. The only time I've like kind of been able to accept it was with the Hunger Games because I think that
There's a new
those
book
movies,
out, by the way.
There is.
New Hunger Games
No
book just
way.
came out Tuesday. Yeah.
Super exciting. But that was such a perfectly casted movie where I wasn't super bothered when like Jennifer Lawrence was on the book. But I'm like, just use somebody designed the cover art before it became a movie, and it bothers me when that's not used.
That's fair. That's
Jen,
fair.
what grinds your gears?
So I had to think about this, and I hate it when people don't cover their food in the microwave.
That's a good one.
Good one.
Interesting.
Yeah, it drives me nuts, especially when I like bought one of those little like food covers and then they just don't. Like, what are you doing? Microwaving spaghetti
happen
without a
often?
cover? It has happened enough.
Like recently?
This happened enough.
But you put a stop to it from the sound of it.
I'm trying. I'm trying.
Via this podcast.
Case, what grinds your gears?
Well, almost literally, as it does for most people, computer-controlled automatic transmissions
Oh my God.
during
He's not allowed on
engine
this
swaps.
podcast
Case
anymore.
saw these guys do an engine swap in 42 seconds. It's taken him a year.
That's all he can think
and
of.
now all he can think
Just
of.
angry.
Yeah,
Really
it's
grinding
really
gears.
taken years off of my life.
You know what actually grinds my gears? Like really badly? Freezers.
For how?
That never effing work. That either freeze things to a temperature that makes it completely unedible forever or they don't freeze enough. Why have we not been able to figure this out, people?
You can.
You can adjust the temperature.
Not good enough. Not good enough.
What do you suggest?
I suggest an automatic freezer that works.
They're all automatic.
Maybe the freezer people
which
should
part would
come
be-
together and just decide on a temperature and just make every freezer work at that
What
You hear
temperature.
that,
think-
Maytag?
Yeah, Maytag, you heard that? We are
Do you
not
think-
getting sponsored by Maytag now, but you guys suck, okay?
Tommy, I have a question.
What?
What about foods that need to be colder than other foods?
Eliminate them. All foods should be at the same temperature when in the freezer. They all come together. I'll throw them a party. It's not gonna be a good one, but I'll throw them a party.
He
Well,
parties.
You don't party.
We're meeting in Vegas, people. We're coming up with the temperature. Is it 39? Is it 37? Is it 32? I don't give an F.
Well, it should be
Just
below
make it
freezing.
one
Yeah.
temperature.
Yeah, it
Agreed.
should.
Ideally.
Well,
Tommy shouldn't be in charge of this.
listen, we'll set Case in charge of the temperature. And then you get the ice cream people, you got the beef people, you got the fruit people.
Ice cream and beef might need different temperatures.
Well, then figure it out.
This is a health hazard.
Figure it out. This is absurd.
Do you feel like this is like a conspiracy with Big Freezer?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Big Freezer wants your
Because-
stuff to get ruined.
They do. It's either too cold where it can never be used again, or it's too warm and spoils. Big freezers behind this.
Wow. You heard it here, folks.
You heard it here
Man.
first. This is true. I can see those gears grinding.
This really
you
grinds
never
his
thought
gears.
about it, but now you're like, you know what? And then also,
Now you're like,
okay,
you know what?
I'm going to keep going here. Freezers get too cold and they freeze on the inside of the freezer, and then it creates a big ass mess.
I think it's kind of pretty.
I think you're pretty, but that's terrible.
I think the inside, it looks kind of like a winter wonderland.
Have you ever seen what happens
yeah.
when that melts? You know what happens when it melts?
Water.
Water everywhere.
Yeah.
BS. Come on, freezer people. If you're watching this podcast, figure this crap out. This is insane that we're
Maytag
dealing
was
with
a good
this.
pull.
Also, what grinds my gears? Toasters never work right.
Oh, you
you
watched
have
a
a fine
documentary
watch-
about
Did
toasters.
you watch
I
the
didn't
Technology
watch it.
Connections video, the documentary
He
about
watched
toasters?
a documentary about toasters. That's
Toasters are getting worse. They're getting worse. They used to have like thermo sensors in them that would mechanically shut off when your bread was at the right temperature, and then they went to BS electronics.
So your main gripe is like with kitchen appliances.
They just suck. Toasters and freezers.
How do you feel about
suck.
ovens?
Ovens are fine
Okay, question about the toasters.
because that's variable.
The numbers,
So are
is that
freezers.
They mean
is,
nothing,
and
Jen.
toasters.
is that the amount of toastiness, or I heard it was the amount of minutes that it's toasting for?
This is what's wrong. This is what's wrong with society.
I think it's
Figure
minutes.
out the effing toaster already.
I
Why
think
is this-
it's minutes.
no. 10 minutes in a toaster. You know what you have in your bread?
Well, what is 10 toasty? What does
It's
that mean?
10 toast. Exactly. We are uncovering.
but are you
the
ever
biggest
going to 10
conspiracy.
toast?
No.
No.
Why even put 10 toast? Make it stop at 8.
Because
you
what
like
if you're
burnt
toasting
toast?
something
Nobody
other than
likes
toast?
burnt toast. God.
That was really aggressive. You like lean forward.
Like fridges, we got figured out. Good work, humanity. Toasters and freezers, BS.
So if anyone ever says that Tommy doesn't like to party, just remember he watched a documentary on toasters.
I did. It was actually, Guy did a really good job.
It's a really good toaster documentary.
Yeah.
Were you more
Toasters
impressed
are-
by like the production or like about the content?
all of it?
How does it stack up to the other toaster documentaries?
I've seen 2 of them because I got really riled up about
You've
toasters.
seen two?
That's the right number of toaster documentaries.
Is it like the little toaster that could?
No, don't look up toaster documentary. That's absurd.
Yeah, what's
Brave
it called?
Little toaster.
Why would that be
Go to
absurd,
YouTube,
Tommy?
Jen. Or Cole. whoever's operating
Way
their
far
computer, and look up Technology Connections toaster.
How long is this
When
documentary?
did you watch this documentary?
How long could it possibly be?
Watch it when you get home after work.
It's not going to
Yeah,
happen.
definitely not.
And it is so
Oh, there it
good.
is.
Wow, they have
Yeah,
a lot
this
of
guy-
Humidifier.
Yeah, the
Have
fridge
you
one is
watched
also
the
air
good.
fryer?
I've seen a
I'm
lot
very
of them.
curious.
This
what
guy's
Tommy thinks
really
about the air
good.
fryer.
All right, there it is. The toaster 70 years old is
That's
better.
not a documentary.
Oh, that's an 11-minute YouTube video.
The antique toaster that's better than yours. 3 million views. That's
How long is that?
normal, right?
20 minutes.
Yeah,
Uh,
watch
get
that
it.
documentary.
It's a mini documentary.
And in that note, I have to leave, but you guys can figure it out.
I think we got to get Tommy a gift, and it should be a freezer and a toaster.
We should get him, a better toaster, apparently.
Yeah.
He's-
What if we
he's
just got him an
very-
air fryer?
He's very concerned about it.
All right. Well, as usual, if you've been listening this long, go ahead and write down toaster.
Toaster.
Oh, that's good. Yeah.
Because that's kind of what seems to be really grinding the gears around
Yeah.
here.
Man,
Because it got us riled too.
that came to a screeching halt.
It really did. I think there was a fire happening somewhere. That actually did.
So we
happen
turned
the
it to
other
10.
day.
That's why.
Here?
No, at the ranch.
Oh, yeah, I was there. I remember.
Yeah.
Anyway, thank you so much for this time, guys.
Yeah.
I'm turning to you and saying thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you for the trivia.
Yeah.
Thanks for having answers
I feel
this time.
like it was better this time.
Yeah.
Good answers.
I'm glad I can still be
Yeah.
bad at it when the questions are good.
Jen is really good at trivia, I have to
Yeah.
say.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah, I think she's won every single week.
Really
yeah.
good. I'm really
Yeah.
good at
Yeah,
guessing.
single-handedly.
Yeah.
Is there some collusion going on?
Oh, because we're friends.
Yes.
Behind the scenes?
Thelma,
Yeah.
Thelma and Louise.
Well, who do you think prints them?
Oh, don't you dare. Don't you dare.
No, I send her an email every time I'm like, hey, please print, don't cheat. And then,
Yeah.
then she
No,
prints
it's
it.
Well,
legit.
she
It's a
sees me
legit.
print it, and I
Yeah.
cover my screen.
Yeah, I walk over to her office and I'm like, if you cheat, it's over.
Yeah.
We're not friends anymore.
It's a legit competition. I lose purely out of incompetence.
Yeah. Well, we know, Case.
Yeah,
Thanks.
that's what we tell her.
Cool.
Well,
On that note,
bye.
See ya.